Hi guys, everyone. Like myself, my name is Raj Bhargav. I'm working as a cybersecurity analyst in Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. Today we'll be discussing about CSRF cross-site request forgery. Let me share my screen. CSRF is nothing but cross-site request forgery. It is a critical web application vulnerability that allows attacker to perform an unauthorized actions like without user knowing on a behalf of a victim. Like uh, it will allows you to he will craft some request and he'll be like sending to you like it you may like a project your web application. Yeah. CSRF is a attack where malicious website or application tricks a user web browser into performing an unintended action on a trusted website. Suppose let's take some website like Zero Bank. Zero Bank is like vulnerable bank for us. As you can see here, username, username, password. Okay. Yeah. Like this is done by exploiting the user existing authentication with the target site, allowing the attacker to execute unauthorized the commands. Commands like transferring amount from your bank account to hacker's account, like attacker's bank account. Like it will be run without knowing. It will be looks like a legitimate itself. Like now how CSRF attack works. First victim authenticate. Like the user is already with authenticated. Like, the user will be authenticated with the targeted website, such as banking or a social media website. Like the attacker crafts the request of the particular website, malicious request that like what we call malicious request. When executed that performs an unauthorized action on the victim's behalf. Like it will be like performing a malicious request on behalf of victim. Victim executes a forged request. Like next the thing is like victim executes the forged request. The attacker tricks user into executing the forged request by doing some social engineering techniques. We will be often used in a hidden image or iframe on a malicious website. We'll be doing on identifying CSRF vulnerability. Lack of anti-CRF tokens. The target website does not use unique, like it doesn't use a unique tokens, does not per request token to verify the legitimacy of the user request. It doesn't use a unique. If we doesn't use a unique tokens, like if it keep on changing, how it will be like sharing the same thing, like it will how it will be able to verify reliance on a session cookies. The website slowly relies on a session tokens to authenticate user without additional verification measures. Like uh, suppose let's uh, without let's 1 second. That's I'll be giving. Authenticate measures. Unprotected sensitive actions. The website allows certain sensitive actions such as funds transfer or password changes without proper CSRF protection. Like if we don't have proper CSRF protection, the attacker can forge a request and send to a victim's browser so that he can transfer the money. Like some suppose like with a bank transfer means like he can forge a request over that and he can just transfer account like you won't be able to know whether your thing like it is a legitimate by crafting a website like he'll be doing like that implementing of CSRF protection. Like we'll be implementing CSRF protection by anti-CRF tokens. Like we'll be creating a generate unique pre-request token and include them on in the form of AJAX request to verify the legitimacy. Like it will be like it will verify in the background itself, background behind the application. We'll request a one unique token for CSRF. Like it will be validated whether it's coming from the same site or not, from it. Same site cookie attribute. Like while changing the site or the site cookie attribute, sending cookies with cross site. Like in websites, like we'll be using sometimes like cross sites, like two domains. Like we'll be using some other domains to take to create. So at that time, like it should be from same site cookies. Like we'll be mentioning synchronized token pattern. Like we need to check whether the token is present in all the submitted requests or not. Like we need to verify so that like we can prevent it from we can implement CSRF protection to a particular website. CSRF defense techniques. Like we have different techniques like content security policies, double submit cookies, like verify HTTP referrer, synchronize post request, like content security policy. Use a CSP to restrict the sources for which resources can be loaded, reducing the risk of CSRF attack. Like we'll be like naming some policies, like we'll be giving some policies to restrict the resources for which like an attacker can do it. Like from like that we can just prevent it from the CSRF attack. Double submit cookies. This is called verify that the CSRF token is submitted in a request matches the token stored in a user session cookie. Like we'll need to verify that whether the session token was like in the session cookie. Like we'll be like verifying with the session token and a session cookie. Like how can I say, the while opening a session, will a cookie will be generated and a CSRF token like will be generated. So we'll be like verifying whether the token is like matched with the cookie or not. Like in the cookie the information was, all the information will be stored in the cookie. So we'll be like verifying the token with the sessions cookie, which verifying HTTP referrer. Like we'll be check we'll be having HTTP referrer in a request where we can get check whether it's coming from the trusted source or not over there. Like we'll be getting over there, we have the URL so that we can check it over there whether the it's from a trusted source within our application or not. Synchronized post request users to manually confirm sensitive actions with synchronized post request instead of relying on Ajax. Like we need to we need to check manually so that like synchronized post request. We need to check the post request manually so that like no, we should not completely depend on Ajax. X. We need to check the post request to confirm actions like what it's taking and how it's doing. The CSRF. Real world, yeah, like we'll be discussing about the real world CSRF attacks, financial frauds. Like CSRF attacks can be used to perform unauthorized funds transfer. Suppose let's take Zero Bank. Here, Zero Bank is like wait, let me show you. One second. One second. As I log in here, like online banking. This is an online banking site where we can practice like CSRF here from account to account. Like here we have this one. We can craft a request for this one and just we can try to exploit the victim. Let me show you. I'm turning on my browser. Yeah. If website is turned on, I'll just capture the request of this one. Just from account to some account like available savings I have like in savings account. I'll just take it to brokerage like checking like I'll just transfer to this one account like some $30 description like let's check here whether I'll check whether my intruder is intercept is on or not. Now just continue. The request will be captured over here. So like from here, we got like from account ID 1 to account ID 2, amount 30. So let's check. So I'll just send it to the repeater here. Here we can change and modify the request like by creating the account by changing the account ID to some, suppose let's take some four or thing and we can just change it to like some other account like $300. And just like in Bobsuit, like we had one feature called engagement tools where it will automatically create an it will generate a CSRF for us, like after that creating the just copy HTML, create an file with it. CSRF.html. I'll save it. Just paste it over here. Control Shift S. HTML. Just save it. As you can see, we got this over here. Just submit the request. Like here, as you can see here in this one, I didn't log in. With CSRF, like while we do the things, like it will take the password, login and password, right? At that time, all our bank credentials will be like in the session token. So that's why we are unable to do it in my another browser. Like let's do it in a Chrome again. Let me turn off my intercept off. Intercept off. And I'll just close Foxy also. I'll just close this one also. Now I'll just open with Google Chrome. Submit request. Oh, it's asking for username and password. Actually, it will be able to submit it, but I think some issue. 1 second. Yeah, we'll be pressing keep me sign in those all. At that time, it will save all the information about our thing. Now let's try to just do it. Open with Google Chrome. Submit request. See, automatically it will be going to them. Like this, they'll be able to transfer the funds from your account to their account. Like this, they'll be able to do account takeover. Attackers can leverage CSRF to update a victim's email password that they'll be sending some mm, thing, crafted emails or something to change your emails or passwords or send account details enabling full account compromise to compromise your account data leakage. Like now, let's go to the CRF can be used to trick victims to perform actions that expose sensitive data, like such as downloading or sharing confidential downloads. Like we can be able to download them. Like we can send we can force some request and we can send them and let with them to be downloaded at that time. Like we can just get their information, confidential information for that malware infection. We can craft a CSRF and let them install a malware so that we can compromise their system. Then we can get all the data from there. Mitigating, like let's see now how to mitigate the CSRF risk. Like first, identifying the sensitive actions. First, we should review the application functionality to identify any actions that could be vulnerable to CSRF attacks. Like, we need to check manually, eh, so that check manually whether the CSRF token is present or not, like whether the session token is properly validating or not. These all things we have to check. eh, Recording, like identify any action that could be vulnerable to CSRF. Implementing CSRF defense. Utilize a combination of techniques such as CRF token, same site, and content security policy to protect your application. Like we need to apply anti-CRF token. By applying the anti-CRF token, all the we can't be able to, like we can craft the CSRF request, but it won't be accepting. Like it won't, we can't be able to do test and monitor regular test your CSRF defense monitor. Like we need to check regularly, like in a particular time period or time interval, so that like we can secure our web application and we can give the user a better experience and a victim, like no stay up to date in the last. Mm. Like CSRF done by exploiting the trust. Like CSRF that trust with web application as in a user browser to perform unauthorized actions. Like we'll be like trusting someone. Like we'll be have seen some emails like you got a car at that time. Like they'll be social engineering. They'll be doing social engineering and they'll be like fall them in their trap. Though they'll be crafting a legal site, so that at that time like you'll be just giving your details, so at that time your money will be deducted from your account and it will go like this. They'll be doing CSRF attacks. Stateless sessions, yeah, can be target stateless sessions. Like it that it will be stateless sessions means it will not validate the origin of the request, like where it comes from, otherwise like where it is present from a victim's perspective. For the malicious request appears legitimate. For like for victim, it appears to be legitimate as it originates from its own browser, because like he doesn't know like that the attacker is sending it the request. Like he'll be thinking about it like, oh, it's a legitimate, so just do it. Why CSRF protection matters? Like unauthorized actions. CSRF can lead to unauthorized funds transfers, as we discussed, changes or over damaging actions on behalf of the victim. Reputation. Attack can severely damage an organization reputation and erode users' trust. Like it when a CSRF attack, like suppose like zero bank is there, like if funds were transferred from victim's account to hacker's account, like then the bank trust will be gone, so that like again the users won't be coming, so that we need to stay updated on our web application so that no hacker can be able to do such malicious interactions on our website. Regulatory compliance, like failing regulatory compliance means like we are unable to implement a proper CSRF protection, may result in non-compliance with industry regulations and standards. Implementing CRSR token generation, and like we are having token generation. First, we need to generate a unique, unpredictable token for each session for user, which users uses it in all form submissions. It in all form submissions, like whatever he submits, like we need to create a unique token unpredictable token for each user session and include in it token validation. Verify the token presence and validity on the server side before processing any sensitive actions. Like we need to validate the token and in the server side, so that they cannot be tricked. The victim cannot be tricked. Token rotation. Rotate the CSRF token periodically to mitigate the risk of token exposure or compromise. Like need to rotate. Need to generate a new types. Leveraging same site cookies. Same site equal to string. These are all some of the methods to restrict the CSRF attack. Like same site is equal to string prevents the browser from sending cookies with cross-site requests, effectively blocking CSRF requests. Like we'll be having cross domains we'll be using in the website. So at that time, like cross-site, if we keep the cross-site request and whitelist those domains, like we can be able to block the CSRF attacks. Otherwise, same set is equal to lax. Allows cookies to be sent with top level navigation requests, but blocks them other types of cross-site requests. Same site equal allows cookies to be sent with cross-site requests, including CSRF, unless additional protection is in place. Like it will be send the cross-site requests, including CSRF attacks, unless additional it will be no protection is there. Double submit generate a token. Like first we will be generating a token and we will be storing it in a cookie. Next include the generate token. Will be whether the request here will be generating a CSRF token and we will be storing it in a cookie, so that like when we submit a request, it should be validate the CSRF token. Like while submitting the request, it should validate with the session cookie at that time. The CSRF token should be validated with the cookie. Next, include token. Include the CSRF token in a request, either in the request body or as an header. Like we need to include the token in the request itself, so that like either in a request body or a header body. Validate token. Verify the token in the cookie matches the token in the request to prevent CSRF attacks. We need to validate the token with the cookie, the CSRF token with the cookie, so that we can prevent CSRF attacks. Referrer validation. First, we need to verify the origin to ensure the request originated from the expected domain. Enforcement restriction. Block requests with unexpected or missing referrer headers to mitigate CSRF attacks. Like we need to block the requests or missing referrers headers at the time or to mitigate CSRF attacks. Implementing fallback. Use alternative validation methods as a fallback when referrer header is unavailable. Like we need to use alternative validation as fallback when the referrer header, well, if referrer header is unavailable, then we need to use alternative validation methods, like do other some alternative validations to mitigate CSRF vulnerability. Comprehensive CSRF protection. CSRF token. Implement unique rotating CSRF token for all sensitive actions. Same site cookies, like use the same site is equal to stitch or same site is equal like as we discussed, double submit cookies validate that the CSRF token in the cookie matches the token in the referrer validation. Checking the referrer header to ensure the request originated from the expected domain. Like we need to check the referrer whether the expected, like whether it came from the expected domain or not, so that we can check whether it is from the CS. Now let's get into the CSRF is a serious threat. CSRF attacks can be devastating consequences for financial fraud to account takeovers and data leakage. Like comprehensive implementing a robust CSRF defense strategy using techniques like tokens, cookies, CSP is essential for the web application security. Ongoing vigilance. Regular reviewing your application CSRF defenses testing for vulnerabilities, and staying informed about the latest attack methods is crucial. Like we need to regularly perform testing on our website so that like we can able to uh, check whether we to get the vulnerabilities that present in our web application, so that like we cannot lose a user test or users information cannot be uh, given to the hackers. That's it for this session.